That sound like music like we about to go live.
Oh, that's that music. We're about to go live.
Oh, shit.
You know what the name of the show is, though?
The Red Pill Phone Tap.
Lucky guess.
Oh, okay.
Hello, everybody.
I pulled that out my ass. The show.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Red Pill Phone Tap. We have an amazing segment lined up for you. We can't call them shows anymore.
Nah.
We used to do 3-hour shows. But now, so that our audience can reach material a little bit easier and go back. Hey, what did Wesley and Anthony say about that back in? Let me go back. And instead of having to sift through an entire episode, now we titled them for you, so you guys can go back and listen to any phone taps you want, anytime you want.
Well, check it out. If you go to a buffet, right, and you don't remember everything you put on your plate.
No.
Yeah. You don't get to enjoy one specific thing that you like. You probably have your favorite thing that you remember, but you don't remember everything you put on your plate. Now you get to kind of just get this a la carte version. I think it's a little bit better. Easier to eat. You don't need a fork and knife and a napkin and candle lights and all that shit. You can just pick it up and go.
Yeah. And you know what my favorite buffets have? The food labeled, so I know what I'm eating. Yeah. So if I ever go to a restaurant that's not a buffet and I tried it, I can be like, oh yeah, give me the egg foo young.
That's some good shit.
That's some good shit, isn't it?
Man, have you had egg foo young?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
A lot of people I meet never had egg foo young, and I'm like, how Sway? So it's just so good, man. I don't know. I won't take us down the egg foo young rabbit hole, but if you eat Chinese food, try egg foo young, and try the house special when they do the shrimp, chicken, and the beef all together in the same thing.
I think the crowd loves that.
Yeah.
You must have a lot of egg foo young fans here today. But today is not going to be about Chinese buffets, everybody. Thank you, everybody. It's going to be. We're finally doing a segment, Anthony, for the ladies.
Oh, shit. Oh no, that was funny. Okay, I was like,
I mean, if ladies want to know some honest to goodness truth, if you're a single lady out there,
oh man, that is not what they want at all, bro.
We're going to do a segment about this later on, but reality can be offensive, can't it? But isn't it better to embrace reality, Anthony?
Well, reality is what we live in.
Are you telling me that this world is not supposed to just be a nerfed up Disney Plus show?
No.
You're telling me that? Really?
I'm telling you that.
Right.
I'm telling you that the way life happens for me and you as men is not the same for women.
Yeah.
And when they try to integrate into our lives and the fantasy that they've been told, the Disney books they've been read their whole lives, and when they say, okay, well, I can go get this Prince Charming, this white knight on a horse, and then when reality hits and it's like, no, yeah, those exist, but there's very few of those. Those are a dreamland. Well, that's what I want. I want to go to the dreamland. Mm-hmm. Well, ladies, admission to dreamland is a high cost, and do you have what it takes to enter?
Yeah, do you have what it takes? And this segment today is about subtle turnoffs for men. Now, let's get to the baseline first. Anthony, you and I were talking about in the pre-show. Who wants to know? I mean, what trope of woman wants to know subtle turnoffs for men? Who is going to be going to YouTube, searching subtle turnoffs for men?
No, boy.
Is it going to be eight? Is it going to be 8s, 9s, and 10s?
No.
No.
Not at all.
No, sir. The 8, 9s. Okay, so let's just set this up. Okay, because Anthony and I talk about this group of women quite a bit. I would say this group of women takes up most of Anthony and I's conversations. If we really looked back over our red pill phone calls,
yeah,
they really without us even realizing it. This group of women dominates the conversation, and of course, this group of women is 7s.
On a scale of 0 to 10.
On a scale of 0 to 10, even though we like 0 to 30 better.
Yeah.
Most people know the 0 to 10 scale pretty well. And these are 7s. And let me explain to you why 7s take up a lot of time. When it comes to women that are actually looking, like, what are... And by the way, let me tell you, before it happens, how this movie ends. They're going to type on the internet, subtle turnoffs for men. Okay, let me Wesley and Anthony. Okay, red pill phone tap. I'm not sure what that is. Let me start listening. And they're going to start listening until they don't like something we say.
And then it's over.
And fuck those guys. They're sexist.
Yeah. Or they don't know what they talk about, or they must be ugly, they must be broke. All the insults and trivial
here's what they want to hear.
Bullshit that they run to as soon as they get offended by reality or facts.
Here's what they want to hear. This is what they want us to say. So listen up, 7s, because this is not what you're going to hear on this podcast. Here's what they want to hear. Okay, subtle turnoffs for men, but sometimes I'm too beautiful. Got it. Probably need to wear makeup less. That's easier for me anyways. Makeup's a huge trouble. Okay, what else is a subtle turnoff? Oh, I'm so powerful in my career and in the world that he's intimidated by me.
I'm independent and
I'm
strong.
too independent.
And too strong.
I'm too strong. Yeah, ladies, go ahead and tune out now because this is not a Disney Plus show. This is not a show to make you feel better. But for those interested, this is a show to help you learn some facts.
I feel like we need to remove the pillows so we won't let you think that there's going to be any soft landings in this show.
Oh, yeah. Ladies, when you're listening to this, put on your Kevlar vest because you are going to be running through a minefield of truth bombs, okay? It's about to go down. And like we were saying a second ago, Anthony, 8s, 9s, and 10s, they don't need to know what this is. And let's set this up. Usually 7s, when they get older, and, men are hitting their prime at like 32 years old, that is a man's, that's going to be his highest sexual market value. If he's taking care of himself, he takes care of him. He takes, what does alpha male strategy say? Take care of your fashion.
Yeah.
Look good. Look presentable. Go to the gym. You can't be $3 bills, fellas, and be 32 years old and say, I'm in my sexual market value prime. That's not what we're talking about, fellas. But 32 years old, usually you're into your career. You're wiser. You don't have 16-year-old testosterone inside you that makes you chase vagina from the moment you wake up to the moment you lay your head down on the pillow. I mean, this is a man's highest sexual market value. Now, simultaneously, these 32-year-olds are also going to be dating 32-year-olds, and their sexual market value is going down. They're starting to get frustrated. There's no shortage of finding these women online, right, Anthony?
No, not at all.
Men ain't shit. These are the women that are posting men ain't shit. Men don't want to commit. All this stuff, because all the 8s, 9s, and 10s, they're already married or in a relationship. They're already taken. So now 7s are the ones that are the only ones left, and they feel like they're top of the food chain because they're the hottest of the leftovers. Right?
Yep.
They're the hottest of the leftovers. All those leftovers in the fridge, if you're just slumming it at home, if you're Netflix and chilling by yourself, you don't want to go to a nice 5-star restaurant and you're just chilling in your own house. You go in the fridge and there's a bunch of shit and that's not labeled, that's in Rubbermaid containers, Tupperware, and this is the best dish in the fridge. And these women still can't get men to commit to them. And that's what we're going to be going over today.
What do you do when you see leftovers in the fridge that's left over that you forgot about? Because you kind of picked over everything, and then when you saw it, you was like, oh, shit, I forgot that was in there. You kind of smell it to see if it even is it spoiled? Is it any good anymore? And then you try to think about, do I have enough money for pizza? Is that
something that's new and fresh and not also 32 years old? Yeah, man. Maybe I'll just call the Hut. You know, no one does pizza like the Hut, right? But you're limping to payday.
Yeah.
All right, let me see what's in here. And this is going to help out these sevens that they're feeling very good about themselves because they're the only ones left. So they're getting hit up in their DMs all day long, aren't they? There's only bitches left. The 8s, 9, and they feel very good about themselves because they're the hottest of the leftovers. They're the freshest of the leftovers in your fridge.
Damn.
But even then, you don't get super excited about leftovers, right? And so we're going to go over some subtle turnoffs for men. Now, Anthony, what comes to your list first? And now I'm not asking for the best one yet, but what usually pops in your head first or second when it comes to subtle turnoffs for men, when it comes to these 7s that have been left over?
Attitude.
Oh, boy. Let's dive deeper, shall we?
Yeah, man.
Attitude. What are you usually seeing out there that's just a turnoff for you when it comes to attitude?
Man, over self-importance, where either their career makes them or the money they make makes them.
Oh, that career part. We're going to have a whole different vein on that one.
Well, it's part of their attitude in the first place because they feel like, oh, I'm degreed, so I'm above anybody else who isn't degreed or isn't degreed on my level. And, okay, whatever. I just asked your name, bitch. Like, I don't know anything else about you, but yet you are acting like I've stumbled upon the wrong person because you have a degree.
One of the things I notice about 7s, they were born above average as far as looks, but they're not dimes. They're not 8, 9s, and 10s, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I notice very consistently about them, and this is where a lot of this attitude comes from, they don't come from a home with 2 parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they probably come from a single mom, and we've talked about that on this show, haven't we?
Yep.
Is there anybody that feels like their stock is higher than a fucking single mom does? You would swear to God these bitches are splitting atoms and curing cancer daily.
You know what? That is a weird badge of honor that they put on, right?
Oh, God. Yeah.
So you're telling me that I should appreciate you because another man spilled his seed in you raw and you decided not to abort because of whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But you come to me to be like, hey, you get to take care of that guy's child. And you get to wait for pussy for 90 days. The fuck?
What Anthony is referring to, because I just saw this in a chat that he was sharing with me, is that Steve Harvey stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, whenever I worked for Ford Motor Company,
I already know where you're going with this.
they would give you like a period of time where you had to come in and really impress them. It was like you wasn't really even hired yet till you came in and went through a certain time period where you proved that you could work good for the Ford Motor Company. That time period was 90 days. Now let me ask y'all a question, ladies. Is it more important to work for a motor company or to be a good husband? And to working for a motor company, you got a trial period of 90 days. That is the dumbest advice anybody's ever given women.
If we
oh my God.
If we flip that, right? Let's say that's good logical sense.
Men, you can't pay for dates for 90 days. Right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Flip it on his head. If it makes sense for a woman, does it make sense for a man? And if you're saying it's good logical sense for anyone, right? Then
should be logical sense for everyone.
Exactly. For right. Everyone. Because what women love to do is to sop that shit up because it's advantageous for them. But soon as it's not as advantageous for them, now it's like, wait. Well, I don't want to be involved with something that's not to my advantage. I want the good shit, not the bad shit.
There was a meme I saw online this week, Anthony. You ever see where like in a movie where they do this special effect where there's a body just sitting there and then it looks like their spirit like steps out of their body?
Yeah.
You can see this in Doctor Strange where the body's just floating and she touches his forehead and he comes out of the body. You know, his soul does. Yeah. There was a meme I saw this week with a woman laying on the ground and that same special effect was happening where she was laying on her back on the ground and it looked like, you know, a transparent thing of her body was pulling out. Mm-hmm. And the meme said how that feminism comes out of your body when the bill comes at dinner. Right? Yeah. All that feminist shit goes out the window when the check comes at the restaurant, right?
All of a sudden tradition matters. Oh, we need to go back to
what a coincidence that it benefits women.
Well, I expect a man to be a man. Now you want a man to be. Now it's not so toxic right now, huh?
Yeah.
You're not allergic to that shit, huh? Oh, man, get the fuck out of here.
What happens when we ask these sevens? And ladies, if you're still here, we're still talking about subtle turnoffs for men. What happens to these ladies that come from single mother homes, Anthony, when you ask them the question? Because you famously asked this question. We've talked about this on the show many times. You famously asked this question to women a lot of times when they're trying to like tie you down or talk about what you want for your future. You will famously tell them, do you want to get married or do you want to be a wife?
Facts.
Because one is just you have a party honoring you.
Yep.
That everyone's dressed up at where they come bringing you gifts.
It's to celebrate you.
To celebrate you. It's what a lot of women think that a marriage ceremony is.
Yeah.
It's a celebration of me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where your bridezillas come from. Because, God damn it, this is all about me. This is celebrating me, and you're messing it up.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Now, when you ask
what they say in that shit, this is my day, and they
right,
their friends say it's just her day. You know.
Yeah.
It's never them. It's never the couple. It is all about her, and they are the history on the white dress and all that shit.
Stupid, because these bitches aren't virgins.
One, they're not virgins, and two, they don't have the money or what they represent or the white dress represented when it first came out. But you can go Google the history on that shit.
Right. There used to be even a tradition, for women that are like my aunt's age. If you have a second marriage, there was a different color dress that you wore.
Right.
What was it, Anthony? Was it like an off-white?
Yeah, it's like a beige.
A beige? Because it was like, hey, let's not be silly. This is a second marriage. I'm not fucking pure as driven snow. You know, but when I ask these questions, well, when we ask these questions to women, about do you know how to be a wife? What do they always answer? 100% of them. Yes. They all okay, well, so what's being a wife to you? And then they have this blank stare like, I didn't know this was going to be on the test.
Right. Well, because they're not used to anyone peeling back that surface level bullshit. Because what women like to do when they talk about deep shit is stay surface level. As soon as you start to dive in deep and start peeling back that third and fourth level on, start to get to reality shit, then it's like, whoa, why are we going this in depth? Well, shit, I'm not here to waste my time. You're talking about you want to be married. Well, this is what marriage looks like. It looks like me and you talking about our future and what that looks like in the middle of it.
And if they don't know the answer to the question, Anthony, that's where a lot of that attitude you were talking about earlier comes from, right?
Oh, man. And
how dare you question me?
Exactly.
But I asked you what it is, and you don't know the answer, so I guess I should question you, right?
Yeah, because they like to spin the table. Anytime a woman questions me after I've asked her a question, I lose so much respect for her at that point. Like it's like I don't know what to say, so I'm gonna ask you. Maybe you can give me an idea what I should say. Well, no. If you want a man, you should know what that man looks like. So if I'm asking you this question, you should be able to spill that shit out real quick. That's like knowing the answer to the test. Like when you've been a kid and they've been, priming you for this one event in your life that you say is the most special, the most the most highlighted day of your life is ever going to be. And you don't have the answer to what that day looked like, was you not paying attention, or is it just not important to you?
Well, I think it was the latter. It's not important because there's no one holding their feet to the fire anymore. Now, for you ladies that came, before you start getting angry with me, for you ladies that came from a home, from a single mother or a single parent, where you didn't get to watch men and women have a dynamic of marriage, it's not your fault. You didn't fucking do that shit. To be 100% transparent, my mother left me and my father just up and left, like deuces, smoke. You know what I mean? It wasn't my fault, right? So whenever it came to me being a husband, me being a man, I had to start seeking some other resources. My favorite resource probably is Rollo Tomasi's. Was a 3-book series. Now he just came out with his 4th book that I can't wait to read because it talks about red pill with religion. And Anthony, I know that's right up your alley.
Yeah.
But I'm smart enough to know, like if you ask me, what does it take to be a husband? And I have a very deliberate answer for you. Because how could I be good at something if I'm not deliberate about it, right?
Yeah.
If I want to be a good father, if I want to be a good husband, I've got to sit down and map out what those things are. Okay? I've got to. I can't accidentally become great at something. And I want to repeat that for our ladies. You can't accidentally become a great wife. If you didn't learn in your household how to be a great wife, and don't tell me if you came from a household where you had a single mother, don't fucking email or message this show and tell me your mother, your single mom mother, showed you how to be a wife, because she wasn't a wife. She was only a mom. Okay? And then, even when you have a 2-parent household, Anthony, still these ladies can come from shitty wives. Now, if I bring up anything about you need to be a good wife, immediately women attributed that to housework, and housework equals bad word in the feminist world, right? Housework, housewife, anything that has women actually fucking physically doing shit.
Yeah.
it's a fucking curse word in the feminist community. Because this is where they do their leap of logic. By the way, this needs to go on the fucking argument tree. So you're saying only. I guess that kind of goes in. I guess that kind of goes into the part of the argument tree where they're like, not all mammals, you know. So you're saying mammals only give birth to live young? Because there's this platypus that lays eggs. So, I mean, it's stupid. It's not right. But, so immediately when you bring up anything about a housewife taking care of a home, and by the way, ladies, just so y'all know, when you have company, and don't send me your emails on this either, because ladies, today is going to be a cold dose of reality for you. Now, you don't have to take it badly. You know, when I'm watching like a nature show or something, you know, and I'm watching like a jaguar hunt down a gazelle or some shit, or hunting something down and just killing it, I can kind of sit back and be like, okay, this isn't a Disney movie. There's a place for this. I kind of want to see some reality. Yeah. I don't have to sit there and fucking throw a fit and start crying. I can just be like, God damn, that's how a jaguar moves. I'm going to be careful if I'm places where jaguars are. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, have you ever seen a jaguar go get a damn alligator?
Yes. Oh, my God.
Wow, man.
And it's a marvel to watch. I mean, yeah, we feel bad for the alligator, but we kind of have to have some reality here. And let me give you a cold dose of reality real quick, ladies. When people come to your house and it's a goddamn mess, they do not judge your boyfriend or husband.
No.
They judge you.
Yep.
Because there's something instinctive that we all have inside of us that women are supposed to care for the family's space. Now, is that what happens in my house? No. Anthony was coming to Navigation Studios. I was running around picking shit up because my wife's doing other shit. She's cooking us some pulled pork. We got a baby running around. So, ladies, no, you don't have to clean the house. So you're saying that only the women have to clean? No, ladies. Everybody's running the house together. But I'm here to tell you, they judge you
yeah,
when it looks like shit. Because a woman's role as a wife and as a mother is to make an amazing nest. What if animals did this, Anthony? What if animals just had no fucking jobs whatsoever? You know what I mean? Like, I watch my birds, like, build a nest up in the tree.
yeah.
And what if the mom was just like, oh, so you're saying the only thing I'm good for is making nests? And so the male would only have half a nest built because this bitch wants to sit around and be a feminist. Fold her wings up. Fold her wings up and be like, I feel like that birds have come a long way and that we have so many things that we're good at now. And, yeah, shit wouldn't get done.
There are certain, all right, so there are certain species where both birds will make the nest, and then there's certain
I think it's most, isn't it?
Not all of them.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not all. So you're saying all birds share the nest building duties?
But the innate responsibility is for the mother, right? Because she needs to know, like, hey, I feel like, well, my body can hold 3 to 4 eggs, 5 to 6 eggs. Mm-hmm. I need to make this nest available to be able to hold that and my weight.
Yeah.
And I live in a windy climate, so we got to withstand the wind and not push my babies out the damn nest. There's so much innate knowledge that comes with being a mother that you should be able to say, okay, this is what it takes. Do I have my shit together to do that? Or are you so caught up in baby clothes and would it be cute to put the baby in and all that shit that you forget what it takes to actually raise the goddamn baby?
I mean, it's there's probably not a lot of thought put into it, is it?
No. It's innate. It's innate to take care of a kid. It's not innate for you to say, oh, well, I'm sorry. It's innate for you to want to have a kid because your body is telling you. But the thing with humans is that we all don't start on the same foot, because we all have different backgrounds. We all have different upbringing, environments, parents, grandparents, great grandparents, and the reason I bring those up is because, one, your DNA, and two, did they have advantages that they were able to pass along to their kids that will go along to their grandkids and great grandkids? So all that matters. But women put themselves in positions that I've seen that they only was like, will my baby have blue or green eyes?
Yeah.
Will my baby have long hair, curly hair, olive colored skin? They all this other shit that don't matter. What really matters, can you bring this kid up? Because think about what a kid is. It's the extension of who you are. The fountain of youth is actually the kids that you can have. How many kids can you have? So I'm gonna let you take back over, because I was gonna have to go down a rabbit hole.
Well, I just think, Anthony, and if I could defend women for a moment here, I'm going to, because again, we are not sexist people on the show. Anthony and I always claim we're the real feminists. You know why? Because women want equality. We're trying to hold you to equal standards so you don't sound like a fucking dumbass, and you don't get this treatment where people are just patting you on the head because you just sound and act like a toddler.
Well, first of all, do they even deserve equal treatment when it comes to being raised to the level of a man? Like, the responsibilities of a woman don't equal a man. They want to be in that position until they are being held accountable for it. But then they go back to be like, no, I'm a woman. That's a man's job. Well, which one is it? Which one is it? You can't take the role on the CEO and be like, hey, man, profits are in the tank. And they was like, well, last quarter they were up. Well, this quarter they're not. So you need to do something about that. Well, what about when they were up? What happened? Well, it's your responsibility as a CEO to make sure we don't go under, and we're under. So fix it. And that's what they don't want to have. They don't want to have that conversation when it becomes negative of the position that you're holding.
But there are women out there that do get it. So, but they're just such a low percentage.
Well, I'm about to say, give me that number of women that get it versus the number that we're talking about.
Yeah, and what I was going to say, a lot of women don't realize that in life, they're hitting from the woman's tee boxes. They think that they're just getting the same treatment that men are getting. And the example you just used, by the way, is a perfect example of like a female CEO could look you in the eyes and say, but it's not my fault. And we would just take it. We'd be like, yeah, she's a woman. She just doesn't fucking get that this is her responsibility. But there are female CEOs that do get it. And ladies, by the way, I'm not trying to make this more palatable for you. If you're listening to this, you're probably not in that percentage. Okay? And that's what women want to do. We talk about the Chris Rock joke where like women are dancing to rappers singing, bitches ain't nothing but hoes and tricks. And they're just like dancing away to it. Love this song. They're like, man, he just said women are hoes and tricks. He ain't talking about me. And then they can keep dancing, right? Yeah. They're probably talking about you. So, ladies, you may or may not be aware. You're just kind of hitting from the woman's tee boxes. You don't get the pressure that men get. Let me repeat that. You don't get the pressure that men get. But let me take up for you guys, ladies, rather, for a second. This world has got so many buttons and levers to train men, don't they, Anthony? I mean, if it's a fucking Gillette commercial talking about fucking negative masculinity, or what are the toxic masculinity? If there's an after school special, men in media, in movies, and everything, they are constantly wagging their finger at men constantly. It's just men are constantly being trained by this machine, and they don't even do it in a nice way anymore. I mean, you look at like from the 50s, Leave It to Beaver, where Ward is like the example of how to be a good dad and shit like that. Men are constantly being trained. Now, to take up for ladies for a moment.
Well, the women are in these rooms now, so a lot of that is portrayed. Like they get to put their part in, and the men in the room is like, well, shit, man, it's a lot of pressure on us.
What I see in modern media is women just kind of get to abuse guys. Make him the butt of every joke. He's the dumbass. I'm the smart one. Because this is what women want to see, because this is the evil that they are. I'm sorry, ladies. Y'all cannot handle... ladies handle criticism about as good as Donald Trump does. And I'm not even kidding. It's just fucking full-on hatred. What do we call... it was not us. Who came up with the acronym for sign language?
Kevin Samuels.
Kevin Samuels came up with this excellent acronym for sign language. This is how women communicate, especially when they're criticized. First, for the word sign, the first one is shame.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I is...
insult.
Insult. Then G goes to... Guilt. And then N is the need to be right. That is how they communicate. They don't leave that loop very often. But I'm going to give ladies a break for a moment, Anthony. Because though men are constantly having fingers wagged in their face, my wife and I were watching Captain Marvel today. In the movie Captain Marvel, how many guys do you think were very nice in that movie? They even made Nick Fury look like a fucking dumbass a lot of the time in that movie. But in Captain Marvel, it was constantly, hey, baby, why don't you smile? Makes you look better. And her childhood memories is all like, hey, quit driving that go-kart so fast. You're a girl. You know, it was just this constant, like...
Remember when we was talking about that NFL coach that was a woman?
Yeah.
And we were like, hey...
Man, fuck this dumb bitch.
And then we realized, like, oh, this bitch got actual credentials.
And we were like, we stand corrected.
Well, damn. And I remember growing up, but I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. So when I was growing up, I remember when we see girl that was fast or could hoop or could actually juke guys in football, when the rare girls that was in our settings, we was like, damn, girl. And we would make fun of the guys because, like,
right,
you look how good she is on you. You know what I'm saying?
It was never like make fun of the girls. My favorite line from Captain Marvel today was when the guy, because, you know, she's an Air Force pilot. I know you haven't seen the movie. And for those of you that haven't seen it, don't worry, you're not missing shit. She's an Air Force pilot. And these guys are like heckling. I mean, yeah, they're heckling her. He comes up to her like in a pub. He's like, hey, you know why they call it the cockpit, right? Find me dudes that talk like that, man.
I was thinking about that when you were saying that earlier. I said, man, that sounds like a 50s commercial or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like fucking Biff from Back to the Future.
Like the black and white training videos of sexual harassment. Like, guys don't talk like that.
Yeah, and you know what? When you're doing a training video, look, you're trying to communicate something very specific in a very short time.
Yeah.
So I get what you're doing in a fictional environment, but to pretend that's how the fuck guys act, get the fuck out of here. But again, I want to take up for ladies for a moment, because ladies, you have never been trained to be a good wife or a good girlfriend or really good at anything. You just kind of get away with, you're held to no standard and you're celebrated just for existing. Let me repeat what I just said. You're held to no standard hardly ever and you're celebrated just for existing. You're held to no standard, celebrated just for existing. I want to repeat that a third time because I know that's hard to hear. And it's not your fault that you're not held to a standard. It's our fault.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I think this is why their attitude exists, because when they do go beyond not being held accountable for anything, as going to school, having a career, being above average, then they were like, well, I have all these attributes, so now I can get a guy that has way more attributes than I have.
Yeah.
Well, again, like you said, you started at the ladies' tee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your pole position is different than mine. And think about it, when men hire women, they have a mindset of, she's going to always be beneath me. Because if I hire another guy, male competition between other men is going to always be there. Always present.
This is the thing that, and again, because we don't talk about reality enough, we can never face this. Women always want to boo up with someone better than them.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
But now that we're booed up, now we're equals. That don't make no fucking sense, man. You know what I mean? It's like a man when he buys an automobile. Before we have a car, what are we doing? We're walking. Right? Then we buy a McLaren, one of the fastest sports cars on planet Earth. Now me and the McLaren are equal?
No.
Then why the fuck did I get the McLaren if I was walking and running so fast?
Right. Well,
it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it also doesn't make sense, man. When they want a man to lead the relationship, and then when they get married, then they think they could take over.
Yeah.
That shit don't make no sense
No
to
sense.
me. It's like, what I'm supposed to do? Just let you tell me what to do all the time like I'm a kid? No, I led the relationship when you wanted me to lead because you saw that as advantageous. And then now that we're married, you want the reins? So you want responsibility for whatever happens now. And if we talked about this before, Wesley, what man do you know when the marriage crumbled and turned on and say, well, I let her have it. I guess it's her fault. No man is saying that shit.
None.
But we allow it. I've seen so many guys allow this shit because they don't want the drama.
I'm here to take up for the ladies, though. They were never taught this shit. They're looking at modern media, and turn on Modern Family, the main couple on that show, even though the guy is hilarious, he's the fucking resident dumbass, isn't he? And the wife is the smart one, and this is what women and little girls see. But then they don't know that is not going to make them happy. They don't know that because they're taught otherwise.
Well, they don't know why they're not happy when they take this role over, and then they start to feel the pressure of reality. That what it takes to be in a role of leadership for an entire family, and
this would bring me to my number one subtle turnoffs for men: when women act masculine, when they take over. I mean, women. Do you wonder why your husband doesn't have as much interest sleeping with you as he used to? Because he doesn't want to fuck a dude.
Nope.
Some of them do. It's like a woman was sitting here when I said that.
Yes. Yes.
Well, not all men. Some men want women to be dominant. The reason, I want, since we're probably going to have more women listening to this segment than any other segment we've ever done. Ladies, the reason Anthony laughed when I said that, and it was like there was a woman sitting here. Well, not all men. The reason Anthony laughed is because we find it hilarious, and that's why we haven't had any women on the show so far, and we're going to. Don't worry, we're getting to it. But you don't understand, and this is why men have to have their own space. You don't understand how fucking much you slow down the communication of ideas between men. with your, well, not all men. Not all mammals have live young. They're duck-billed platypus. Dude, we're trying to get to the fucking next thing that mammals do. And you're slowing us down on the live young shit. All mammals have hair and they're warm blood. Well, not all mammals. And we can't get through an exchange of ideas. Men exchange, when they're by themselves, exchange ideas so fast. We don't have to worry about fucking offending bitches. We don't have to worry about, HRing up our language. Like, hey, motherfucker, like, men curse at each other at work.
Yeah.
Hey, motherfucker, I need you to do, come on, dog. Like, that's when you know a boss and an employee are tight, when they can talk to each other kind of street level a little bit.
Yeah.
Man, come on, dog, I thought you were going to do this.
Yeah.
But women slow down communication so much. And we're so used to it, aren't we?
Well, man, when you were saying that, man, I was just like, man, I've been around men who
communicate like women because they were raised by single moms, right?
Well, yeah, you don't take what I said, but yes. And even when they're just in male only spaces, they still be like, well, I got to take up for women.
Can we give them an example? Because one of the things I have on my list, subtle turnoffs for men, for these sevens.
Yeah, go ahead.
One of my bullet points is being a hoe. And you were in a chat where a guy was kind of like, he was like the woman there, like he was taking up for him. Tell our listeners about this, because you had me take a look at that chat.
Man, it was just a conversation. It's just a male only group, and there's men shit in there, and we were talking about ex-porn those stars. Would you be able to marry one? Because there was happened to be one who became a pastor and ended up getting married.
Who the hell is that a former porn star? Who the hell is at a former porn star's church? I'm sorry, I digress.
Exactly.
Oh my God, dude.
I want to read that Bible. Like, how does a former porn star become a leader of men and women?
I guarantee you, she takes that lane of the who's that woman in the Bible? Is it Ruth?
Ruth? Which
no,
one?
There's
a lot of women.
No,
in the
Mary
Bible.
Magdalene.
Mary.
I bet she takes that lane, and she's like, "See, even Jesus
got his feet washed by a horse,
by a hoe." I mean, we're not saying that hoes and porn stars are throwaway people.
No,
that's not what we're saying on this program.
But
you're still a hoe.
Yeah, it doesn't erase that's what I was calling in the group. I specifically was saying how this born again virgin shit is a scam, and you can't just erase your fucking history, especially in the day and age of the internet, the technology. You can't erase your history when you put yourself in the eyesight of the world.
And look at me taking up for ladies today. Were women ever taught that?
No.
My daughter's going to be taught that. Whatever you put on the internet, girl, is
for
forever.
Life. For life.
We were watching that WandaVision show for a minute, and they're having that little back and forth, and he's like, what do you mean I forgot something? I literally can't forget anything, because Vision is a computer.
Yeah.
Computers can't forget anything, ladies. So don't be a hoe online.
You know, it's actually a...
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't let you finish your story. Did you go into how the guy was taken up for women?
Yeah.
In the whole thing?
Hold on. I'm going to finish this statement. It's an actual thing now that people make money off of ex-porn stars, and people gonna be making money off of these OnlyFans bitches too, because this lady had to pay $21,000 to erase all her escort stuff that she had online.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, what all did she have though? I'm sure she had no videos.
Well, no, she was just
naked
promoting
pictures.
She was just promoting that she was an escort. And she was on the escort service website. She had to pay $21,000 to erase it.
Motherfucker, did you just come up with a fucking $1 billion idea? Like right here? Serious. If we opened a company called EraseAllYourHoeshit.com, it would just come in, we're like, hi, have a bunch of ho shit online? I'm Wesley Page. This is Anthony. We're here to erase your ho shit. That's right. This company been in business for 2 years. If you have some ho shit online, we'll find it. That's right. Find your ho shit. Take it down. That's what we do.
This sounds like a 2:30 a.m. commercial, like a motherfucker, bro.
Women would not be cool with just having it like that, though.
No.
We would have to be like, have pictures of your prior marriage and relationships.
No. Have pictures of your WAP out there.
You did some ho shit online back when you were 22 years old. Now you're having kids at 32.
Damn.
What are you going to do? We got to get that ho shit offline. Oh, my God. Because, but Anthony, the reason I put being a hoe as like a subtle turnoff, by the way,
yeah,
is because there's women out there that are smart enough. Like this. That's why I threw my arms up. I'm like, wow, this lady is smart enough to actually know it's a good idea to get her hoe shit offline.
Yeah.
There's some women that cross their arms like, what, you knew I wasn't a virgin when you married me? Well, why you want me to take my stuff down? I ain't no virgin. And they think that they just got to cross their arms and you just got to deal with it.
You got to take it. Yep. Just like you got to take their kids.
Yep. Immediately where my mind was going. Yeah, I got some kids from another dude.
Right.
I got some, yeah.
And for whatever reason, like you said, man, it's worn like a badge of honor. And it's very, like, in my mind, I have 2 kids, right? So I don't, like, look at women in the sight of, oh, you got 2 kids. In my mind, I'm like, well, I got 2 kids, right? So I got my own baggage.
I've never seen a man with the proud, no shame energy about having children, though. I've never seen a man go up to a woman and be like, all right, you're going to be my wife, but you got to understand, I got these kids. I got these kids, bitch, and my kids come first.
You know what?
I got these kids, and you know what? If you don't like that, then you can hit the dough, you dumb woman.
You know what, man? When I've heard this, when I hear women complain about guys that have kids, it always is complaints. It's not oh, he has kids.
Great.
Yeah, it's always a complaint. And then I remember this one specific chick. She was like, he always is with his kids. And look, hold up. When I hear women talk about, well, I'm going to be with my kids come first. I see that written in dating profiles. Mm-hmm. I see that when they talk about, well, I don't have time to see you because my kids. Or I got to do this because of my kids. And my kids.
Let me
if you can't take my kids, then you can't take me. And that's cool.
Let me defend ladies for a second here. They're only joining in on the finger wagging that we're getting all the time as men, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Gillette commercial, it's just the most perfect example. It's just constant finger wagging about how a man needs to be a real man and blah, blah, blah. It's not... There's a societal machine of constant finger wagging to men telling us we're not fucking good enough and that we need to improve. As Rollo Tomasi says, Anthony, right? You have to become a man. In our society, you have to become a man. Women just are. This is what we're talking about, ladies. When we talk about how you don't know how to be a wife, you're literally held to no standard and you're taught nothing. Now, it wasn't always like this, was it? My grandmother would teach my aunts how to sew. Because back then you had to make your children's clothes. They would all I've talked about this on the podcast before. They'd all go to Hancock's, get some material. The cool part is they get to pick out the patterns that they could cut out of the paper, and This is what they did every fucking year before school. And she's like, well, I have to teach my daughters how to sew. For when they become mothers, I have to teach my daughters how to cook so that when they have a family. But now, there is like, so you're saying all women are good for is cooking? Is that what you're saying? I can't believe you. That is terrible. You are just a sexist show. All women are good for is cooking. No, bitch, but we're saying you do need to know how to cook if you have a family. You can't go out to eat every fucking night. You're going to have to know how to cook. So what? Men don't know how to cook? You're saying a man should never cook? I never fucking said that. You're saying that because you're trying to fucking get out of cooking ever. Bitch. And Anthony, to give them a fucking minute, they're not taught to do anything. Now, my daughter's not going to go through that. I know my wife's going to teach her a bunch of shit because one day she's going to, what? She's going to have a family. You're not going to accidentally become good at something and forget about great. You're not even going to become good at something if you've never been taught a goddamn thing about it. And the only way you're learning is by watching these terrible fucking shows where men look like shit and like dumbasses. Women are superior just for fucking existing. I mean, this is what these poor women, Anthony, if we're just being honest, this is what they're taught, right?
Well, the reason why the passion behind what he's saying exists is because we hear is, well, I deserve.
Yeah.
And, okay, you deserve. When we was talking about earlier.
Who told you that?
Yeah, I don't know who told you that, but
the world has told them that.
I know
right?
that when they view content that puts them in a good light and tell them that they're the prize and they should be sought after and a man should be on a certain level before even approaching them, blah blah blah, right? If you're a single mother, you got kids, and then you're dating, and then when the guy is like, hey, I expect this out of you, and then your excuse is your kids all the time, you run back to that excuse, you got to pick a struggle. You're either going to not date and take care of your kids' activities and be the mother you got to be because you don't have a man there, or you're going to have to bring in a man to replace the man that you had the kids with. And you can't tell that man he can't be involved in upbringing the kids because he's not the father.
Well, yes, they can. You know why? Because they've seen their mother do it. That's my whole thing. And when have you ever seen me on this show defend women? But I mean, this is, if we're just being honest with ourselves, this is what we're teaching women.
You can do it, but what type of man is that you can do that with?
Do what?
Tell him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tell him
you can't be
first
involved.
Of all, let's make it even broader than that. When you're telling a man like, these are the rules. Here go my kids. I've been in charge of this house because I'm in charge of all these fucking kids that I've spit out of my vagina. So when you come in here, which, by the way, sidebar, guys, this is why when you get together in a relationship with a single mom, you never move to her place. You're moving to a den that she has been completely in charge of. Do you think that now she's all of a sudden going to be like, okay, I'm just submissive to you now?
Nope.
No, daddy. No. So she's been taught.
She ain't pissed all in the corners.
Oh, yeah. She's been taught this is how single moms operate. Now, the only guy to answer Anthony's question, because this is a good one, because he's asking me a question he already knows the answer to. What kind of guy is going to come in and just, let's step back broader, fuck all this shit about you can't discipline my kids and any of this shit. What kind of guy would come into a house where a woman's making all the fucking rules for his life? I mean, a man enters into a situation with a single mom with kids. This is now his life, and she's making rules on shit. Yeah. The only man that would take that treatment, ladies, listen to me very very closely on this one. The only man, ladies, that will take that treatment where you're making all the rules because you're a single mom and you're large and in charge, those are men that you're not going to be happy with. Let me repeat what I just said. Those are men that you're not going to be happy with. So add that to the list of rules, or I'm sorry, the list of subtle turnoffs for men.
Why won't they be happy with that guy?
Because women are not happy with feminine men. And when you, feminine energy, just thinking about it, I know this is an oversimplification, but for some of you are simple motherfuckers, especially a lot of you women listening. So this is a simple illustration of masculine and feminine energy. Just think about a penis and a vagina. Okay, masculine energy is the penis. It's driving forward, chasing down goals, taking a list of goals for your life and going out and conquering. This is what, I watch a show right now called Vikings. They're all about going out and fucking conquering. And think about that penis, just trying to conquer that vagina. And then think about the vagina. Feminine energy is all about opening up, receiving love. Our anatomy is perfectly
and
set
relaxed,
up.
Relaxed energy.
Relaxed energy, yeah. Thank you. That was better said, Anthony. A relaxed energy, spreading the legs. It's like a flower opening and blooming. It's about beauty and receiving and not taking charge. That's a subtle turnoff for men, ladies, when y'all act masculine as fuck, large and in charge. Ladies, listen to me when I tell you this, because I know you don't want to hear any of this, but listen to me when I say this. You're only going to attract those men that are not going to make you happy long term. And if we're going to talk about being masculine, let's go to one of Anthony's favorite subtle turnoffs. I hear about this from you a lot, Anthony, when you go on dates. Ladies, this might be the most important part of this segment, because society has told you the opposite of what reality is on this segment. Now, when you were growing up, your parents told you to break glass ceilings, to break through barriers. By the way, is that a feminine or masculine energy?
Masculine
That's
energy.
masculine energy.
Yeah.
That's okay. Women have to be in their masculine energy where? In the workplace. Okay? So your parents told you go to law school, go to medical school, go to college, go get your master's degree. Anything that would make your parents proud of you, ladies, does not turn men on. It doesn't necessarily turn them off, but some of you ladies think your career accolades should get you the man that you want. And I'm here to tell you, ladies, it has not a goddamn thing to do with a man wanting you. Well, it should. A man should want a woman that's smart. Man, ladies, and all of you ladies that talk about being smart, you're not as smart as you think, by the way. Reference Game of Thrones here, Anthony. Cersei Lannister. Remember that scene where her dad says, you know what your weakness is? Your weakness is you're smart, but you're not as smart as you think you are. That's your big weakness. Is you're really smart, but you think you're smarter than you are.
Because oh man, I hate
such a good example, right?
Well, I love it, and I hate to, like you said, man. Ain't no pillows in this episode. What we said it in the beginning, man. You don't have to think hard. You don't have to. You get the ladies' tea box treatment. So anytime you go beyond that, you think
you want a fucking cookie,
right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
welcome to what men just have to live their lives every fucking day, ladies. Welcome.
So it's annoying to me to think that because now that you're starting at the same line with me, that now you're above me. Yeah, that's so pretentious, right? So it's like, I'm looking at you next to me, and you're like, you're looking down on me like something wrong with me because now we're on the same starting lineup. No, well, welcome to my world, and guess what? I run faster than you because I had the physical makeup to do that. I have bigger muscles, bigger bones, and now when I get past you, you can't pull this shit about this equal shit. You just started the same line as me. I just have a different anatomy than you, don't I?
Does this mean, because this is where women's minds go, and like I said, I think we're going to have women listen to this segment. So because women are not equal to us, do we just walk around like Biff from Back to the Future? You fucking dumb bitch.
No.
That's not how men are. That's not how we think, man.
Well,
we're not trying to be insulting by saying, you know, Shaq is not trying to be insulting to me when he says, Wesley, I'm taller than you. I mean, he might. I mean, Shaq's kind of a cantankerous character, but you know what I mean? The facts are Shaq is taller than me. That's okay. That's fine.
Stronger
than me.
more athletic,
has more money.
Yeah, it's so many things. And guess what, Wesley? Do you try to drive in his lane?
No.
You get the fuck out the way, and you do this. You say, you know what? I ain't gonna be able to keep up with that shit. I'm gonna move over and let him. Like when you're in the fast lane and you see a car coming behind you approaching fast. What I see women do is like, I was in this lane first.
Yeah. And just in life, right? I was in this lane first.
But what we do is men, we realize like, oh, you know what?
Not my lane.
I'm gonna let him have it. Let me get over.
Nah, you know what I'm gonna do instead, Anthony? I'm gonna go make a Captain Marvel style movie where I just create all this fiction where Wesley Page just goes and just dominates Shaq in a fucking basketball game and dunks on him and like, ha ha, you stupid idiot, Shaq. And Shaq, I'm going to make him a specific character of like, hey, Wesley, why are you over here trying to act like you're taller than me and you're trying to come in here and trying to beat me in basketball? And that was a pretty good Shaq impression. I was about to make fun of myself. Well, that's how he talks.
Only thing is, I understood what you said.
But it's like, I'm not going to, I don't feel the need to do that. I'm just out of Shaq's way when it comes to what he is great at.
Yeah.
That's cool. Let me go be great at something different.
Can you, as I was about to say, can you accept that he's better than you?
100%. No problem.
And do you talk shit about him that,
no.
You know what I'm saying?
And I also don't assume that I'm like really great at something that he's not. Even though free throws is something I'm pretty good at. But some people are just better than you. And you know what movies and media and what women want to do is, since Shaq is great at these other things, there's this one thing that Wesley's really good at that Shaq is really terrible. No, it ain't like that either, everybody. Sometimes people are just fucking better than you. Reality isn't fair. Jay Velez came in the chat earlier on our live stream here on Facebook. He says, I saw this jaguar jump off a 20, because we were talking about jaguars earlier.
Yeah.
He said, I saw this jaguar jump off a 20-foot cliff on top of an alligator and roll with that alligator in the water, then drag it back up the cliff. Like, holy fuck. That shit was crazy. Like, damn, nature, you scary.
Yeah.
And that's how the human species is too, man.
Yeah.
Reality's scary.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, just what the fuck it is. Now, Jay saw him this jaguar take out an alligator. I'm sure sometimes the alligator wins.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This is the world we're living in. And it's not a fucking Disney Sunday night movie, everybody. And that's okay. God, that's okay. I mean, you don't have to come with all this fucking attitude. And ladies, and you know, staying on our topic here, your career not impressing men and making men want to marry you, it's okay. It's awesome for your career. That's awesome. You make a lot of money. Good.
But you chose. You chose.
But ladies, I want to warn you, when you finish medical school, don't get mad, because remember, your nature is you want a guy that's better than you, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Don't get mad, Dr. Hose, when you realize you don't have as many men to choose from. Because if you always want a man better than you, and you're a doctor, not a lot in that fucking dating pool, is there, Anthony?
Well.
These are terrible truth bombs for these poor ladies today.
Well, 10% of men are high earners, talking about six-figure men, right? There's 90% left of men now.
Yeah.
Who do they deal with now? And guess what? The number of men versus women in the world, there's less men than you, so it's more
Right.
women out here. So what? Think about this, ladies.
They don't do a lot of thinking, Anthony. That's a tall task.
You're already pulling from a pool of a smaller pool than your own gender, right? So you're pulling from a smaller pool than you have. So that's why it's super competitive. And now you're wanting the top, tippity top of the top. And then you want the top of that. And then you cut out.
And then you got to compete with the 8, 9s, and 10s of the world.
I was just about to, not only the 8, 9s, and 10s, but the 8, 9s, and 10s that just turned 18.
Oh,
And that's happening every day, every month. So
how do you think you're going to win this game with no game plan?
bruh, luck.
Yeah, just
hope.
walk outside.
Hope.
Kind of like how we walk outside as humans. Like, is it raining? Oh, it's dry. No water falling from the sky. That is their dating strategy.
You know the best flavor ice cream that ladies like?
I like strawberry, but go ahead.
Hope.
Hope.
Man, they have some that hope flavor, that wish flavor. Ooh, when you get the hope and the wish swirl. Oh man.
Could you imagine if men's dating strategies were like women's? I just open the door, look outside. Oh, no hose. Close the
Damn.
door.
Go back inside.
Close the door, go back inside, play some video games.
Well, wasn't no hose out there.
Wasn't no hose. I asked Anthony where the hose at.
Every time Wesley called me.
That is their whole strategy.
Hey man, where the hose at?
Definitely, ladies. Definitely all you 7s that are left over. And I'm not trying to be insulting, ladies. Again, jaguars can jump off a 20-foot cliff and fucking jump on alligators.
What are you trying to say, Wesley?
What are you trying to say?
The 7s aren't
I'm
worth
trying to
it?
help these. Yeah, I'm trying to help these women.
Well,
It's okay to get better and learn what these turnoffs are. It's okay to know that your career is awesome for your money in your bank account. It's not awesome for tying down a guy. It's just not. But it's good for y'all to know this. It doesn't mean that was stupid to have a great career. It doesn't mean that your career is not fucking awesome. But I will tell you this. If you go on a date with Anthony, he doesn't want to talk about your career.
Fuck no.
Anthony, go into that, dude, because you specifically talk about nurses. That motherfucker, I don't want to know about your fucking nursing shift.
bro.
What are you have so many horror stories about women talking about their career on dates?
Nurses, I'll say the most annoying to me are the nurses and teachers.
Oh, really?
They're the most annoying.
It's just a constant humble brag about how much they're helping society.
Yeah.
Right.
And the flip side, of that is like, I hate these fucking kids. But I'm a great teacher. I'm a great teacher.
Hey, I'm going to tell you the truth. You're going to love this.
What?
One of my friends, and you know this friend, who has a teacher for a wife.
Mm-hmm.
He was comparing his wife to someone in our fantasy league that has terrible. He offers like terrible trades.
Trades, yeah.
Yeah, and I think you know that person too.
Yeah.
It'll be like, hey, check it out. Let me give you Zach Ertz, who's hurt right now, and the third string wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars for Derrick Henry.
Get the fuck out of here.
Wait, what do you mean get the fuck out of here? I'm giving you 2 players. I'm only getting 1. And let's just call this person Julius, this terrible trader. If you guys knew how similar that was to his real name. But he told his wife one time, he goes, he cut her off when she was complaining about kids in her class.
Yeah.
And he goes, man, time out, man, time out. What you're doing to me right now is like a Julius trade. It's like what you're describing took up 30 seconds of your life. You sitting here telling me the story is taking up 17 minutes of mine. This is not a fair trade, dude.
Right.
This is not a fair trade.
Well, she got to tell him how she felt in the moment of that.
This motherfucker does not give a fuck.
And guess what?
About these kids.
Think about these kids, right? These kids are full of sugar. They're full of energy that we don't have anymore as adults. And they are bombarding you with questions, with analysis, with any little emotion or pain or tickle or anything that's outside of them getting one-on-one attention from the teacher, and they're coming at you all day. Well, this is a profession that you chose, right? I don't have to deal with that shit in my job, right? Even though sometimes
there are no children at my occupation.
Sometimes I feel like some people act like children, but
yeah,
they're functional adults that I can hold accountable to being an adult. But I don't have to deal with that. And talking about that the whole fucking time on the date, I came to get to know you.
So what are you saying, Anthony? That they're only talking about their job the entire time? Is that what
yes!
you're saying?
They're
only talking about their job? Is that what you're saying?
This is the killing part. Because it's like that's their only imprint in life that they've made. Like, my life are these kids, are my patients, are the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's always constant. Like, and no matter what you talk about, they bring it back to that goddamn job, bro. And it's like, fuck, man. Listen, can we not talk? I told the chick straight up. I said, can we not talk about your kids? I really don't care about these kids. I want to know about you. She shut the fuck down at that point.
No problem, ma'am. We'll bring you the what is it called? Jesus, when you cook something with steam. Oh, steamed. My bad. Yes, ma'am. We'll bring you the steamed lobster. Sir, what would you like? Go ahead and get me the pan-seared salmon. You know what? Side of dirty rice. Okay, thank you. No problem. You know, speaking of pan-seared, at work today, I had to change out all these bedpans for my cancer patients, and it was everything comes back to their job.
You know what I thought you was gonna do? Because I was like, oh, that would be so funny. When you was reading out the menu, what if I read the entire menu? Like, you know how they put the description? Instead of like, you know what? Let me get the lemon chicken and rice. You're like, yeah, I'd like to get this looks great. The open field fed chicken processed with a glaze that was baked overnight with the
served with a side of
with the house seasoning and the special sauce that complements with the topping of lemon zest and black pepper, fresh coarse black pepper. I want that. And hey, sir, yes, sir, that is our manager special that you're reading there.
Subtle turnoffs for men, ladies.
With the
have you had this happen, by the way?
With the parboiled pilaf rice. That's
what was going on with this woman? Was she trying to sound like super sophisticated? Or?
Oh, bro, no. Well, I think that she was trying to impress me with her job, which I wasn't impressed with. So I'm not impressed. You're a teacher. Most of the time, you're a teacher because you want your student loans paid off. So you're being a teacher for 10 years, so you can get your student loans paid off.
Wait a second, is that a thing?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, a lot of states do that. Like if you if you go in as a teacher, you know, for 10 years,
trying to tantalize these chicks into a terrible, terrible job, right?
Yeah, because the state know they don't have the budget to even pay these people what they probably would have to pay them in the real world. So they was like, hey, listen, if we can just get these people to come in and we take that off, then they won't make as much money out there, but you will be saving money as a state. And well, they have no pool of people to pull in as teachers because being a teacher is a rough job. And ladies, I know you dominate that world as far as teaching. I think that's a problem too for the boys that have to grow up in that scenario. Mm-hmm. It's not your fault. I'm not saying this is your fault. It's just what exists. But
well, if a woman dominates a field, Anthony, that can only mean that they're sexist against men, right? That's the only thing it could mean. Right?
Yeah, 2021 logic says that, but in reality, that's not true.
Well, that's what I hear in male-dominated fields. It's because they don't encourage women to work there, and they're sexist, and it's a toxic environment for them. But it's weird. I never hear that about hospitals being toxic when 80% of the people that work in hospitals are women.
I can't be a teacher because I use cuss words. And so it'd be impossible for me to deal with kids without cussing the motherfuckers out, because I can't deal with constant ignoring me, right? Like, you don't have any way in your world, in your head space, to be able to stop and listen for and wait for instructions. So I've been like a assistant teacher, and I've come in and, like, you know, volunteer my time for be like the big brother for elementary school kids, stuff like that. I can be that in a you know, time frame, little block of time, right? And I can give them back to their teacher, and I can not cuss, and I can do that, right? But at the same time, I do know it takes a different kind of energy to to be able to.
Oh, perhaps feminine energy?
Yes.
Oh. So you're saying that there are certain jobs where feminine energy and masculine energy are better at performing that job.
I will agree with that.
That sounds sexist as fuck.
Oh, damn.
That sounds sexist as fuck. Anthony, let's summarize subtle turnoffs for men. Now, we started with being masculine. These are in no particular order, my bad. Talk about being masculine, talking about bragging about their career and thinking that their career is a turn on to men. Being hoes. And ladies, by the way, being hoes included in there so that you don't think you're off the hook. Yeah, just being on the internet in a bikini. Bitch, you know what you're doing. Like the whole you're looking from behind. Oh, someone took a picture of me. Oh, conveniently your ass is what we see because you're turned around looking at the camera. You're being a hoe. That's fine. I mean, don't listen to us. If you just want to continue being hoish, be hoish. I understand you get a lot of likes that way. You are not helping yourself get into long-term relationships, if that's what you're looking for, by being hoes. Anthony, what else we got for the ladies?
Man, you said something. When I was thinking about this situation, and a chick sent me a photo like that, looking back and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, obviously she wants me to look at her ass. She tried to tell me she wanted me to look at her heels on her shoes.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
And I'm like,
100%.
Then why you didn't send me a picture of the heel of your shoe?
Yeah.
So I was like, man, nice.
100%.
I was like, nice little ass, you know. But guess what?
Excuse me, what'd you say about my ass?
Well, no, she said thank you and shit like that. But that's what she wanted. You know, so she wanted attention on that. But what I also was thinking, I was like,
do you think she has a good relationship with her father? Serious. When you see, I mean, we've talked about red flags on this program before.
Yeah.
That's daddy issues right in 1 second right there, isn't it?
Well, this is
didn't get enough male attention as a child.
What do you think about when think about this? Like, if this person still wants you to pursue them, right? This is what they're putting on the hook.
Yeah.
This is what they're leading with for you to engage with them with. So now I'm thinking, you know what? I'm about to smash. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
where you're, and ladies, listen, that's where men's mind goes. Hey, I hope he likes me. Hey, did you see this picture? Hey, look at my heels. Oh my God.
Look at my necklace.
Yeah, look at my necklace. Wow, those are some big ass titties.
Exactly. Oh, do you like my braces?
No, we don't, ladies.
No.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
New makeup, duck lips.
It's just like, all right. Yeah.
Oh, now they stick out their tongue now. The Cardi B tongue.
Oh, yeah.
Now, what am I thinking about when you got your mouth open and tongue out?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
But they're not thinking that because they don't do a lot of thinking. They're just thinking, look at all these likes.
How dare you want me for sex?
How dare you?
Oh, no, this is why we need to do 90 days. Because men just can't keep it in their pants.
Yeah. But there's no young women doing that, by the way. Only the leftovers are listening to Steve Harvey. Why would you get advice from Steve Harvey?
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money in telling
I would
women
I would take business advice from Steve Harvey, right? I mean, he certainly knows how to make money.
Well, yeah.
But
yeah.
selling his soul to Satan to do it is part of his equation, I think.
Well, think about selling your soul as a man. Because think about what you have to think about what you're doing for the
to other men.
Well,
you're making other men out here in this fucking world wait 90 days for sex.
Get the fuck out of here.
And let me tell you, ladies, this is not men that I'm like looking out for first on this. I'm kind of looking out for y'all. Because if you wait 90 days to give up sex, I don't give a fuck if you're a dime piece. Women are going to pass you by. Ain't no man trying to fucking go out with you for 90 days before they sleep with you for the first time. Get the motherfuck out of here. You are going to get passed by ladies. Other women are not going to do that. Guess what? Don't you dare follow that advice, ladies. Good God.
Yeah, if you think that if you think it's that good, right?
Right.
That you get to put it on pause, then I'll take the words from Kevin Samuels of his advice for you to do this. Pay for all the dates, do all the follow-up, do all the initiation calls, all the shit that you want men to do until you give it up. And then once you give it up, he takes over from there. But if you want that man to still be interested in you with no sex going on, and a woman, and no woman will want to do this, right? That don't make no sense. And if a woman hears what I just said, that makes zero sense to her.
All right,
just like it makes zero sense for you to be trying to put your pussy on pause.
Well, I already know what women do before they do it because they're very predictable. Ladies, I'm sorry. If you don't want to be predictable, stop being predictable. Didn't fucking tell you to do it. But I can already hear this. So what is it then? You're telling me don't wait 90 days, but you're telling me a subtle turnoff for men is being a hoe. I mean, what is it? Do we want to be a hoe or do we want to wait 90 days? I mean, is what y'all sound like. So let me just fucking inject some common sense with a syringe into your fucking stupid arguments. You know what the difference is, ladies? Discretion. Discretion, ladies. If you want to put that you're a hoe out there to the internet, if you want to put that you're a hoe out there to the world, and I'm not talking about how you dress. Anthony, are we pro women dressing sexy? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All we're saying is, ladies, discretion. What was the conversation? Could you marry a porn star? Hell to the fucking no. That bitch ain't had no discretion sucking dick. Okay? That is on the internet for everybody to see. My boys are laughing behind my back because they can just, hey, Google, bring up Wesley's wife sucking some dick. Look at her. She's such a pro. Don't nobody want to marry that bitch. Ladies, don't nobody want to marry. Don't send me your emails. But there's this one porn star that dated blah, blah. Shut up, man. I'm telling you, for the general consensus, men don't want to be with hoes where their guy friends are laughing about them behind their back. Use some common sense and some discretion about your hoishness, ladies.
How much does it cost for a woman to erase her past?
You're about to find out because Anthony and I are about to come out with that company.
$25,000 $25,000 to get.
Oh, did you just look it up?
To erase, yeah, it's $25,000.
That's not a terrible deal, is it?
It's not. To erase your all that whole shit for the next man to not know that you was a hoe out here.
Do they guarantee it?
Well, we gonna have
that'd be a tough.
That's
guarantee.
the part, because how many people can record shit that they see online
how many
and save it in their phone?
Right.
How many pictures have you sent out to all these multiple guys of your titties and ass out here, right? So, and how many people got their own collection? I don't know. I got a few collections that are not, a few women that are in relationship probably wouldn't want me to put out there, but I'm not that type of dude either. So they ain't got to worry about that. But you don't know who you sent your shit to that still got it when you was a whole hoe out here, and now you married to Henry.
Mm-hmm.
And Henry, if Henry finds out, what do you think Henry gonna do? And y'all just engaged. Henry might not feel good about that.
Henry might not feel good about that, but then they're going to go into sign language, shame, insults, guilt, need to be right. And I'm here to tell you, Henry, this is the problem with our society, and this is how off the rails our society has gotten. Henry probably don't leave her. Henry probably don't leave her. But for you sevens that are the leftovers, and y'all actually got to do shit because you're not as hot as the 8, 9s, and 10s, these are some truth bombs that you can benefit from. Check it out, ladies. Before you go and leave comments on our YouTube shit and turn us off and roll your eyes at us and things like that, remember that jaguar that jumped off a 20-foot cliff and attacked that alligator. Reality sometimes is ugly, but what Anthony and I are trying to do, desperately trying to do, we're trying to prepare you for it. So if you're the alligator down there that's at the bottom of that cliff, you know there's jaguars that can jump on you 20 foot high. We're trying to tell you the truth. What most of you are going to do is you're going to go back to that fucking YouTube channel. Don't worry, girl. It don't matter if you're 250 pounds. You're still beautiful. The reason you don't have a husband is because men are intimidated by your career. Women need to be masculine in the house to keep men in check. Moms are all children need. Dads aren't needed. Single moms are the greatest people in the world, especially the ones that filed for divorce and put their kid into a single parent situation. Continue to listen to those podcasts, ladies. Continue to just take in information like it's lots and lots of processed sugar. And when you continue to do that, ladies, when you continue to do that, you'll see that you will continue on the same losery track that you've been on now for all these years, and your life is not going to change at all, even after hearing this podcast. Was that too mean there at the end?
That wasn't mean, man. The truth can't be mean. The truth is just facts. Facts is just the truth. And you just got to research them, see if it fits you or not. If it don't, let that shit go past you. If it fits you, just do something about it. That's all you got to do. It ain't hard.
That's all you got to do, ladies. And we're here to tell you, I have it. I mean, I'm transparent with you. I have a daughter. I love my wife. My two favorite people on planet Earth are women. And I think it's okay every once in a while for ladies, for y'all to get some truth, for you guys to get some, for you gals rather, to get some training. This is what men deal with every day. Everyone's trying to train us, right? It's okay, ladies, to be held to some standards. It's okay to hear some facts that aren't Disney.
Or to your advantage.
Right. It's okay, ladies. It's going to be okay. Because Anthony and I are here to look out for you right here on
The Red Pill Phone Tap.